be brave, take what's mine. Wanna learn about what's on the inside. Yeah, I'm atypical. It's all physical. So good it's criminal. Yeah, I'm invincible. Yeah, I'm atypical. It's all physical. So good it's criminal. Yeah, I'm invincible. I've been waiting for just the right time. Now I'm ready to change, it feels right.
Great job! Way to go! Great job!
You know I can't be tamed. Yeah, I'm atypical. It's all physical. So good it's criminal. Yeah, I'm invincible. It's time to rise. My turn to fight. I got too much pride. Won't lose this time. Yeah, I'm atypical. It's all physical. So good it's criminal. Yeah, I'm atypical. It's all physical. So good it's criminal. Yeah, I'm invincible. Yeah, I'm atypical. Yeah, I'm invincible.
Good morning. It's Saturday, July 6th, and we are live from TGA. My name is Alexis. I'm here with Samuel and his daughter Courtney, ready to talk about their transplant journey. Thank you both for being here today.
Absolutely.
Excited to have you. All right, Sam, we're going to jump right on in. I want to hear about your journey, how you got here, all the good, bad, and the ugly.
No, good, bad, no.
Yeah.
It wasn't that ugly. It was more just different. I was diagnosed with decreased kidney function back in Detroit when I stayed in Detroit. And once I moved down to Alabama in 2007, I got with a nephrologist, Dr. Harold Giles, and he kept monitoring my kidney function, make sure that I was doing the right things. Then it got to a point that I guess my numbers had started changing. But he said he really wasn't worried because back then I was working out a lot, so I carried a lot of muscle mass. And he said my creatinine numbers was due to the creatinine leaking out from my muscles down through my kidneys. But eventually he ended up putting me on truckamungus. I think that's not the correct way to pronounce it, but it's another medication that Avarsis uses right now that replaced it. And after a while, it slowed it up to a point, but it didn't stop the kidney disease. So what he did then, he said, well, we need to start working you up for kidney transplant eventually down the line. So I went to Piedmont in Atlanta, got worked up there, then I got worked up at UAB. I was scheduled to go to to Nashville. Then I got my first call from the UAB to be a backup for a transplant that the person didn't take it. So I met with Dr. Kumar at that point down at UAB, and one of the things we had talked about was the hepatitis kidney program that she was involved in. And Dr. Giles had told me about that they was using those kidneys now since they found out a way to eradicate hepatitis.
And that was pretty transformative at the time, correct?
Yeah, at that time it was, because it shot me to the front of the list. And so I think I was on the transplant list, I don't think it was a year.
Oh.
And after the initial visit down to UAB, Dr. Kumar said, well, since you're here, don't worry. She said, you're probably real close to the top of the list.
Okay.
So that was in April. So by that time, my numbers had started getting a little bit worse. And so we had decided to do dialysis at home. So they had sent me out to meet with the people that
get you set up
for the machinery and everything. So that day we went over there and we met with them. They showed me how everything works and how much equipment that I need, how much space that was gonna need in my house for it. So we left there, went by Courtney's house, and when I got back home, I saw a message from the kidney transplant people. So I called down there. He said, "Sam, we've been looking for you." I said, "What? We got a kidney for you. You want it?" I said, "I'll be there in a minute." So
Give me a chance to pack my bag.
No, my bag was already packed.
You were ready.
Yeah, we was ready. And we went down there. It was like it was something different, because then my life changed from that point. I wasn't as worried about my kidney health because Dr. Giles did a great job keeping me maintained. And when he put me in the hands of Dr. Kumar, and I met her at the first time, I felt a lot at ease. So when I was down there getting ready to go on this table, it was a little bit more settling. So I think they did the transplant. I spent 6 days in the hospital.
Wow.
And I was at home. So that next morning when they came and saw me, and UAB kidney team is massive.
It's not a small operation over there.
It's not. Every time I go to the hospital, they come and see me. Every time I go to UAB, I get the whole staff.
I love that.
8 or 9 doctors.
They miss you.
Yeah, I tell you, they have done great care with me.
Good.
Between Dr. Kumar and my coordinator, Nakia Malone, they make sure that my numbers stay right. Now, my numbers get kind of crazy. I'm going to get a call from Nakia, and she's going to scream at me. "You ain't drinking enough water.
You're going to be in trouble.
Stop doing this, stop doing that." But they take great care of me down at UAB.
I love that.
And they have actually prolonged my life, I believe, because I believe that I'm going to be here for the next 20 or 30 years.
You're not going anywhere.
I have no intentions on it.
Good. It's great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, you started talking a little bit about that. Your life since the transplant. What has happened? What has transpired? How has it changed? For better, for worse? Hopefully more for better than anything.
Well, I had to buy a bunch of new clothes because I lost a whole bunch of weight.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was weight or I lost a lot of muscle mass.
Okay, so maybe.
And then,
maybe a little bit of a bummer.
But other than that, I feel a lot better, have a lot more energy. I don't have to worry tomorrow. About tomorrow. Only thing I have to worry about right now, I get my blood test once a month. So I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm not doing. So once a month, I look at those numbers, and they stay constant. So I feel pretty good.
Is that worry and stress that got to you more when you're going through a journey than anything else, or was it the physical ailments as well?
No, because like I said, Dr. Giles did.
They were so good.
They were so good. I didn't have no physical ailment. He was amazed. He said, "Mr. Winbush," he said, "anybody else with your numbers would have had on dialysis years ago."
Wow.
He said, "But all of your numbers is related to," because I was huge. I think I was weighing about 250.
Oh, yeah.
And I was, I was down at Lakeshore Foundation working out like, out the gym rack. I get there 8:30 in the morning. I want to leave at 2 in the afternoon.
You were a gym rat.
And so I actually did everything at the Lakeshore Foundation they had. And I don't know was it good or bad, but I know eventually it the muscles was leaking too much, I guess, into my kidneys and damaged my kidneys. And so, we backed off from that. So now I'm just this puny person now.
I wouldn't call you puny.
Then my daughter and them push around and stuff, because I'm not big no more. But my health-wise, I sleep a lot better.
Good.
I feel a lot better. And
you're here.
I'm here.
You're here and you're healthy.
I'm here. I'm healthy, and I have a great team.
Yay.
To keep my back.
Take care of you. That's what I want. All right. Well, let's talk about you as the daughter. How was this journey watching your dad go through this, experience this, be there as a caregiver, a loved one? It's a lot to watch someone go through the ups and downs, especially learning he was going to get one type of kidney and then get a call that he's getting, for lack of a better word, a healthier kidney.
Yeah.
What was that all like?
It was a roller coaster, I probably would say. Like finding out that he needed a kidney, that scared me. Like when you hear people needing an organ and they're on the donation or the recipient list forever and they don't get that. And then you hear about them passing on because they never received. So that instantly came into my mind, like, oh my gosh, my dad needs a kidney.
Huge
Where is it
stressor.
going to come from?
Yep.
And then started doing research and looking online, and the more you look online, the more of a rabbit hole you go into, and then like you see the good, the bad. So it was, I would say it was a roller coaster. I think when we first got the first call for that he was a backup recipient, it was like sigh of relief.
Yep.
But you knew that there was still the possibility that he wasn't going to be able to get that kidney. So I remember we went into UAB and they admitted him and everything, and we stayed the night there, and then the surgery was the next morning for the primary recipient. And then I feel so bad saying this. I'm like, oh, I hope that he's able to get this kidney.
It's a tough thing to feel about your loved one who's sitting in front of
Right.
you and someone you've never met and you don't know. Yeah.
And
it's a human part of this whole process.
It really is. And what's so crazy is when we went to check in at the hospital, we saw the primary recipient there.
Wow.
And I remember Daddy saying, he said, I hope she's able to take it, because you could tell she was just in really bad shape.
She needed it.
She definitely needed it. And the next day, I remember they came in and told him, we had been waiting forever, and they came in and told him the primary recipient was able to get the kidney. So it was just like a huge letdown at that point. And then when he got the other call and he was the primary recipient, it was just like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yep. All this wait was worth it.
Yeah, all of it was worth it. But then, too, with the hepatitis kidney, that was another factor, because it's like, oh, yeah, I want him to get this kidney, but I don't want him to have to battle another health issue if he gets a hepatitis kidney, and now he has something else layered on that he's trying to come back, But, through it all, God is so good. He was able to receive a healthy kidney, and he's doing a lot better. We see him, we could tell there's a different quality of life, I would say. He's not as tired. Like, he used to just fall asleep in the jumper bag. You would think
His
he was
body's working so hard.
Yeah. So just knowing that he's in a healthier state because of the donation is really, something that our family is just forever grateful for.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be here at the games? Is this your guys' first games?
Yeah, it is. I had seen some of the literature down at the clinic over the years, and I was just wondering. I said,
Always curious, I bet.
yeah, about it. Yeah, and then when they said it was coming here.
It was meant for you. We came here just for you, Sam, actually. I've been meaning to tell you this whole time. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Well, if my knees and hips weren't so bad, I'd probably be out there with them. But it's good to see that there's hope. And now with the more technology they got, they working with the using the kidney of pigs, genetic modified pigs and stuff. And me and Dr. Giles had talked about that. He said, the longer you hold on, the more technology gonna change, and it's gonna be a lot easier. Because when we spoke about the hepatitis kidney, he said, well, this a pill now. It takes care of that, and you will be treated, if in case the kidney is infected with hepatitis. He said, if my wife needed a kidney, I'll put it on that list. So I said, well, you my doc, and took care of me this far. Go ahead, we'll take that avenue first. And it worked, but just so happened the kidney wasn't infected with hepatitis, with a healthy kidney. But I was prepared, I guess.
You were ready for whatever you were given.
Right. And I believe that, that they said they got a way to take care of the hepatitis. She said that they was throwing away kidneys by the batches that could have been used, and people could save other folks' lives. And the strange thing about it didn't scare me about hepatitis. I just needed a kidney, But I really never, because he kept saying, well, how do you feel? I said, well, how should I feel?
Yeah, you seem very even keeled through most of this process.
Right, because I didn't feel sick. And he said,
Interesting.
he said, Mr. Winbush, he said, like I said, your numbers, anybody else, they've been on dialysis,
It seemed like your body taking care of it all those years, even though it did have an adverse effect, still helped you get through the process more.
Yeah, it did, because I was a lousy eater.
Here's the truth coming out slowly but surely, Sam.
I passed a pizza spot. I'm gonna stop giving me a slice of pizza.
Hey, food. Everyone has something. Food's mine too. I love good food. You can't. I'm thinking about when I'm eating lunch. I'm thinking about dinner. What are we gonna have? What am I cooking tonight? So I get it.
Mm-hmm. But then Dr. Giles sat there and told me, he said, "Look, you gotta watch this, gotta watch that. Drink a lot of water. Stay away from the soda. I don't drink." He said, "You don't smoke, so that's a plus." He said, "Just keep doing what you're doing and just modify some other things." And it worked. And then when it happened, it happened. I know that next morning, I woke up and I looked around. There was like about 12 or 13 people in my room. I said,
there's a lot of you in here.
I said, like, who are these people? And they said, Mr. Winbush, when we connected your kidney, it started making urine automatically, and we knew we had a winner here. And then they looked down at the container and they said, yeah, you pumping real good,
You're gonna do just fine.
Yeah, and so every time I go, like I said, anytime I get an infection, I'm down at UAB because my autoimmune system has changed, and next thing you know, I wake up. And then let it go again. 12 or 13 other doctors monitoring my health I never knew that I really was that important to these people. I thought I was just another.
It says a lot about who you are as a person, though, that they care that much.
Yeah, I think they care about. I don't think it's me. I think it's the patients.
I think that too, but I think you're special too, Sam. You obviously 12 or 13 people aren't just hanging out in your room just to hang out. You mean something to them, and it probably has to do a lot with how you treat them as well as how you treat others in that space. It's not an easy space to be in. A lot of people get very tense and angry sometimes in the hospital setting, and it sounds like you are very at ease.
Yeah, well, I'm in a situation that I can't control. So
you have a good outlook on it all.
Right. So like I said, if I can't control the situation, it don't make no sense for me to get upset about it. My pastor used to tell me, he said, pray on it, leave it alone. So we prayed on it, we left it alone, and God took care of it along with my doctors. So I'm right now, let me say, I talked to the kid on the other day, and she got after me because I missed one dose of my microfilm. I guess I wasn't feeling good that morning, so I had to take my anti-rejection medicine. And so the next morning I had to go and have my blood work done.
Oh, she knew immediately.
Mr. Winbush. I said, okay. I said, what did I do? She said, your microfilm levels are low. I said, okay. I wasn't feeling good that morning, and I just slept. So
before you yell at me.
Yeah. She said, well, look, make sure you take that medicine. I said, yes, ma'am. But
and you haven't missed it since, I bet.
No. And like I say, that's, I guess you sit back and you say, like, do every doctor treat every patient like that? Do they have a team that's out there that we're going through all these medical records? Now we got to go through this blood. The number ain't
and then
right.
Are they seeing everything?
Right. And they say, okay, you need to make sure. Like I said, if I don't drink enough water, my creatinine get out of whack, I get a call from the kid. Mr. Winbush, you might want to drink a little bit more water, okay? Your creatinine went up a little bit. And so which is a good thing that they pay attention to the small things.
It does. It adds
because
up.
The small things could roll over to something big. And so, like I say, I'm just grateful for the folks at UAB.
They're great.
Yeah.
And you're proof of that.
Yeah, they are great. I'm glad they're in my backyard, so I got this.
Even better.
Yep. And now since they done bought St. Vincent, they at the bottom of the hill. So
You're golden.
I can be right there at the office.
You're sitting pretty.
Yes, I am.
So throughout all this makes me curious, was living donation ever a route? There's a lot of options you had, it sounded like. Was that ever a route that you considered trying to find a living donor?
Well, in my family, that's a big ask.
It is.
Because I got a bunch of women in my family.
Okay.
And so I got a bunch of mothers. And so my cousin Faye yelled at me. She said, well, I heard you need a kidney. Why you didn't call and tell me? And so she put the word out in the family, for everybody to get tested. And she said, you got a bunch of cousins, that's willing. I said, well, that's a big ask, because you don't know how it's going to affect their life. Like when Dr. Giles told me, he said, okay, we at this point now. We're going to the next step. And so when we left his office and I came home and told them, and my daughter Tiffany, she was here from Detroit, and I sat down with all three of my daughters and my wife, and I told her, I said, well, look, don't worry about it because the answer is no.
Yeah.
You know, because they got their lives to live, you know. So like I said, I don't know what could happen, you know, during this process to them to interfere with their lives. I said, I'll be all right. And so my cousins called me. I got cousin Mark, he's over there not too far from Piedmont. He said, well, I'm going down to Piedmont to get checked out. I said, Mark, don't worry about it. Nah, my mama called me yelling at me. Go see about you. And so she said, I'm going to get, so he got worked up. But it's a real big, you know, and for me, it's a real big ask.
It is.
Because it's like, I never had to ask anybody for anything. So, but, you know, but when you're asking for, you got two kids, let me have one of them. You know, you ain't doing with the other. It's just like, it just didn't sit right, you know.
How did you feel about that, Courtney? As the daughter,
Oh, yeah.
you were probably ready to do anything to get him healthy again, right?
Absolutely. I think
Everyone, it sounds like, in
both
your
of my
family.
sisters, my mom, we were all ready to
Jump
shell
on
out
that
a kidney.
wagon. Yeah.
You know, you can live with one kidney, so why not? But he was completely against it.
Even now, look at him.
Yeah, so he was just so against it. And I have a special needs sister.
Okay.
And if something happens to my parents,
You're the caregiver.
Yeah. So my dad talked about that, and he's like, and since the kidney disease that he had could be hereditary, and I could go down and be only living with one kidney and then be in the same place. So I understood where he was coming from. Still didn't matter to me. I still wanted to give
take care of your dad.
the kidney, and take care of him. We would just be, done with it. But he was just so against it.
Now, as locals, how often are you hearing stories of living donation recipients, donor families here, especially you're in TV world? How prevalent is it here in this community, especially with UAB being such a big center? And now having the games here, there's quite a bit of to talk about.
I think it's pretty, I don't think it's a rare occurrence anymore. I think, but like back in the day, you would just hear about people needing kidneys. Or
Here and there.
Not even just kidneys, just the organs forever. And no one was really signing up for, what is it? The life.
Donate Life.
Donate Life. You would see them set up and no one would be standing around the tables. Now you see everyone not everyone, but a lot more people are more willing to become a donor. And I think that's awesome, giving somebody another chance at life. And it's a great gift that you're able to give someone.
Exactly. And we never know how our sweet, wonderful, amazing lives are going to end and when it will. But when we're ready and if it all works out, then more power to us giving that next shot.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, what are you looking forward to in closing? I know you got a lot to look at this week. Are you ready just to watch some people compete their butts off? Or
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's amazing to see. They're out here now. I don't know what their past was like, their past life was, but I see, everybody's walking around here that's participating is energetic. They're happy, and like that, when you go get your blood drawn, it's a lot of people from the kidney department that's getting their blood drawn at the same time, and you remember seeing them before they had the transplant, and then you see them after the transplant, and you see how their transformation is taking place, and it's an amazing opportunity that folks need to realize that, like I said, it was a big ask, and I couldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it, asking nobody, but it's a big gift that somebody could give somebody else. To another opportunity to continue living, to see their grandkids, their great grandkids. I got 2 grandkids in Detroit, and like I said, I got another opportunity to spend more quality time with them. And if everybody just look at it like that, and get on the bandwagon. But now, really, with the technology, and if everything goes well with this genetic modified kidney from these pigs, I don't think this
the list will look different.
It'll be different. I think it'll be less people on dialysis. My mom was she had kidney disease, and she was on dialysis for about, we were down here 17, for like 20 some odd years, and before she passed. And that's something, I remember going, after we moved down here, and I went up there to see her while she was in the hospital, and she was going through dialysis. And I told Dr. Giles, I said, I just can't do it. He said, well, don't worry about it. You can do it at home. I said, you can do what? He said, you can do it at home. I said, at home? He said, he must have wondered where technology didn't change. From the time when your mother started her process, you could just do it at home in your sleep. I said, because that's the only way it's going to get done, because I'm kind of squeamish,
It's a lot to ask to do that for that many hours a day, too.
Yeah.
So when you're not mentally prepared for it or educated on it at first, it's a lot to ask someone to do and go to for that many hours.
Yeah, I know, because when she would come to visit, we
Take her to a center.
right, Daviva, I think that's the way it is. It was right there in Center Point, so it wasn't that far from Trustville. But she's down there for 4 hours, going through dialysis. Yeah. And as long as she ate a good breakfast that morning, when she come home, she'll take a nap and she's back up and around. And it wouldn't be that draining on her, But she went through this here for some over 20 years.
Yeah, so you've seen it all. You knew what it was like to go through that process, and not something you were particularly excited about encountering yourself.
Nobody. I just couldn't sit there and be hooked up to a machine. Now, when they showed me the film and how it works at home, I thought, oh yeah, that's a winner,
We can do that.
I could fuck me up. I could watch a movie. I could go to sleep, and I wake up and they say, you unplug and go on about your business. And they say it's less draining on the body because it's not cleaning the blood. It's just removing the toxins from your body, and your heart is not straining, And I said,
it's a lot calmer.
Yeah, and I said, that's me,
Sign me up.
Sign me up. And we got signed up, but like I said, it was a blessing that I didn't have to go that way, because by the time I got back from the center, Dave was on the phone, and it was my turn.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
God knew what he was doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, in closing, I want to use Courtney's years of expertise in comms, PR. This girl does it all. So I'm put her on the spot here. And I'd like you to look into that camera and tell the world why it's so important to be on the registry and or explore the world of living donation, especially as a daughter of a now recipient.
I think it's so important to explore the world of being a living donor or even getting on the registry. It's because you're definitely giving somebody another chance at life. You're being able to do something powerful and create an impactful, life-changing event in that person's life. And then as far as living donation goes, you're able to provide somebody with an organ that they may need, immediately, and not have to wait for a deceased organ to come about. And then a lot of times, from what I've read, living organs, they tend to last a lot longer and they perform better. So if you are in a healthy space where you can donate and give the gift of life, you're able to just feel a sense of, of just a rewarding sense that you are actually making a difference in someone else's life and giving selflessly. I think that's the biggest thing, is being able to give selflessly with organ donation, because a lot of times, especially with, you don't know who you're giving that organ to, but you are, freely giving of yourself. And, we're Christian family. So the Bible says, give and it'll come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So that is definitely coming back to you. And you never know if you or someone else in your family may be in, in that same spot that organ recipient is in. And, you've already done your part. So I think it'll come back to you a lot easier.
She crushed it, folks. That was perfect. Well, thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Sam, for joining me today.
Awesome.
I loved hearing your story. I loved hearing both sides. I know that when people hear the story, that they'll be impacted by it and feel, chosen to be a part of this community that needs more people to be a part of it, to close that gap, to make that list smaller. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great first games. I hope it's so much fun. And I'll see you guys around this week. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time on Live from the TGA.
Yeah.